Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. We're going over how to mount your long telephoto lens. Now I've already done a video this a couple years ago, but this is going to be a lot more updated and a little easier to follow, I believe, with newer hardware involved. So let's say you got your new Nikon 180 to 600 here and you want to do some video or even photo. Now I highly recommend that you use a fluid head for this and not a gimbal head. Personally, I think fluid heads are far more efficient and easier to use for this. You can balance the lens on it up and down, left, right, all that stuff, and then you never have to touch it again. And if you carry your lens on a shoulder strap, like a Black Rapid, like what I use, all you gotta do is take that off, and then you can just leave this bit on there. It's not a big deal. And I want to add in that everything that I show here will have links in the description if you want to check it out or purchase any of it through Amazon, and I much appreciate that. It gives the channel a little bit of a kickback. So the first thing you're going to need is a fluid head. Here I have my 504X from Manfrotto, and this is obviously just the center column for my tripod that I'll show you shortly. And the equipment that you're going to need, and I buy all this from Small Rig mostly because it's just affordable and it does what it needs to do, is you're going to need a camera cage. So here's my Z9 camera cage. All these things I've already done a review on, so if you see something you're interested in, just search in the channel and you'll find it. I also highly recommend a screw set from Small Rig. That way you have extra screws, because honestly you're going to need it. This is the plate that comes with the fluid head. Now this is not Arca Swiss, so you need to adapt this to Arca Swiss so that it fits what you need. And here is an Arca clamp that will adapt it to Arca. And it's pretty well used, as you can see on my part. I've used this a lot. It's pretty scuffed up. Still works great though. This is what actually is going to hold the front of the lens. This cool little Y riser. Now this is the taller riser, and you're going to want that if you have a camera that has a built-in grip like a Z9. If you have a smaller camera, like say a ZFC or a Z50, Z30, etc., or maybe even like a Z6 without a grip, you're probably still going to want this taller riser, and instead of just using this base clamp, you can get a clamp that also has a riser built into it, so that you can raise this up and clip it to the bottom of the camera. Then here's the base plate that gets clamped to the plate that comes from the tripod. Pretty simple. Your rods go in here. I'll show you all that in a second. Then here's your rods. Pretty simple. They're 12-inch aluminum rods from Small Rig. And then we'll move over here and show you how to put it all together. Super simple. Don't worry. First thing you got to do when you get your tripod, you got to pick a nice sturdy tripod. This is the Benro 47 AXL. It holds like 50 pounds, so it's not going anywhere. Then you have to attach your nice new fluid head to the center post. Drop that down in there and align it with the key. Okay, now you got your fluid head on there, you're ready to assemble the rest. Okay, so the mistake you're going to do is you want to put this on the tripod plate first. You don't want to do that. Take your clamp that holds the rods, and then you want to put your Arca plate on top of it. It will sit like this. You want the clamp to be in the back so that it's easy to get to. And to do this, you're going to want to use a 4mm Allen key. You're going to want to use the domed, recessed one for the top. And just to show you, I'm screwing it into this right here. Not the big hole, the second hole from the bottom. So now that that's started, leave it kind of loose. You're going to go through the bottom. There's a slotted hole right here. So you're going to put your second screw through the bottom into a hole that's right here under the lip. It's kind of hard to see and explain, but when you look from underneath you'll see it kind of lines up. You got to make sure that your latch is on the back above the Small Rig logo. Then just go and tighten it all down. So now you got that built and put together. Now you can place this on the foot that comes with the tripod head. Kit of hardware, it comes with a little flathead screwdriver kind of thing. Same thing, make sure you pay attention which way the arrow points, because it tells you it goes one direction. Make sure you got that pointed forward like this. You put 2 screws in the bottom. To put them in, all you got to do is just drop them in the hole and slide down. And there's 2 holes right here. That's what we're screwing them into. That's why you got to put that clamp on top first, because you won't be able to reach it once you put these on. Before you tighten it all the way, you can see you can slide it forward and backward. Since it's such a big lens and a heavy camera for me, I like having this all the way at the back so that I can slide it further back off the tripod for a little bit more counterbalance. And you just set on top, crank it down. We'll just tighten everything down so it doesn't go anywhere. So here you go. Now you got the base completed. The rest of this is pretty simple. Just take your rods. You gotta loosen these little clamps on the side. Stick your rod in there, clamp it down. Stick the one in on the other side. Clamp that down. Make them the same length. Now you got your rods on there. And here we have our vertical support. Always have this facing forward so you can easily reach this. This is kind of a pain to reach if you have it backwards, so always have it facing forwards. Just goes right on the rods and slides back and forth. So if you want to use your 200 to 600-ish lens, you put it way out here. If you want to use a 70 to 200, you can put it right here, so you can adjust it as needed for whatever lens you want to use. So when it comes to the camera you put on here, for the Z9 it works best if you put it in a cage, so it can clamp right into this dovetail Arca Swiss here and be ready to go. So here's the camera, and here's the cage. Put it on. I did a review on all this stuff, like I said, so if you find something you want to look more into, look on the channel, you'll find it, or I'll put flags up above and you'll see it. It has 3 different mounting points. It has one right here with a 2.5 mil screw. Then it has your tripod socket in the bottom, and it has a locking screw down here. Then it has a built-in flathead screwdriver if you need one. Just slides right in. Take your screwdriver out and just tighten it in. Not all cameras will have the second locking spot right here, but if you can, always have more than one spot where a camera is attached. That's why everything has at least 2 places that is anchored on here. Makes it a little bit more sturdy. And then we have the tiny little 2.5 screw on the top. Honestly, I don't really know what this does, but I guess this extra support. There you go. Now you got your cage attached. You're ready to go. Got to put the lens on. Now you can leave the foot at the bottom if you want. I like rolling it up to the top so it's out of the way. Less stuff to worry about when you're trying to adjust your rails. And the bottom of this cage has Arca Swiss on there, so you just drop it in there, clamp it in, and then just raise this up to the lens. Now you're good to go. That's it. So if you found this interesting, please like the video, comment down below. If you would ever use a system like this, it's super useful, trust me. It's even great for photo, I guarantee that. And it's far superior to anything that you would use with a gimbal, like that old school gimbal stuff that people use with their long telephoto lenses. And this whole setup with the camera and the lens is probably like, I'm spitballing here, maybe like 7 pounds. So, works really nice for that. And as you can see, it's starting to get to be hoodie weather. It's getting a little chilly out. So if you're interested in some MWP hoodies or t-shirts, down below in the description, there's a link to my Bonfire website where you can order these from. And I believe it's international, so you can check that out. So until next time, happy shooting, and now you won't have shaky footage. I'll see ya.